All right, the LA Chargers just caught 2 lucky breaks. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but this channel fully dedicated to the Chargers, and we've just had a lot of fun with it. I think you guys have as well, just kind of heard an outsider's perspective into your team and what's going on. So 2 breaks that you caught. Really, one has to do, let's just get into it. Let's just get into it right here. Chargers are not going to lose Chad Alexander this offseason. You might be wondering, who the heck is Chad Alexander? What is that, a player? What's going on? He was interviewing. He's part of your front office, and he was interviewing for the Jaguars general manager job. And there was 11 candidates, and then they boiled it down to 5, and he's not one of them. And this is big because the Chargers spent all last spring and summer building up their front office. Luckily for LA, it seems he'll have at least a second year before perhaps taking GM interviews next offseason. So he's an assistant general manager that, again, I got one other lucky thing that happened that you got to be happy about here just a second. But I think you're in this sweet spot as a franchise where the foundation's been built. Not enough good things have happened where people are coming now to get and take from your team, like the Lions, right? The Lions offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Then they got front office people. People want a little bit of, man, I see what the Lions are doing. I want that. The Chargers are right in that sweet spot where it hasn't fully kicked in yet. And so you've got an opportunity to keep everybody together. Offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, front office people. There's been little rumors here and there. You lost like one special, or your DB coach, but overall, it's just been so quiet. Not good for content creation, but for a franchise to be run just quiet. There's not much noise at all. There's not a lot of turnover. You're not looking for new players. You're not hearing about off-season stuff like Justin Tucker. Like, what is that? There's none of that. And by the way, this is weird. I don't ever feel like this, but I've been feeling like this last couple of days. It's like I just feel like I need to say this. And if you're new to the channel, we never do this. I'm going to say there's somebody listening to this right now that needs to hear this, that you're going to make it, that you are going to make it. You're in a hard time right now, but you're going to make it. God is good. He's watching over you. You're going to be just fine. That's all. Like I said, we never do that on this channel. I don't know why I need to say that, but I feel like I absolutely had to. So I wanted to say that. Whoever's watching, they need to hear that. So it's just really quiet. It's really quiet all over when it comes to your franchise. This is like a real mature franchise suddenly with the Chargers. So this is great. It's great. All right, here's the next thing is, let me get to it. One of the things off-season wise is like everyone knows, hey, need a wide receiver, need a running back, need some weapons for Justin Herbert. We're hearing how great he is. I do think he is great, but ultimately it's time to go. Let's just look at the landscape of it. We know the other quarterbacks in the AFC, so we know all that. But one of the things is defensive end. You got Khalil Mack and Bosa, and then it's like, oh man, you got what do we do after that? Here's the lucky break that you caught again, is that this draft is loaded with edge defenders. Now, look, seriously, we'll show you here in just a second. There's 12 of them in the first 2 rounds. That's where the scouting, which one are you going to go with? They're all in the same bucket. There's like some elite ones, and I'll show you the elite ones. But, overall, it's going to come down to can you pick the right one? Someone out of this class is going to be legit. Who is it going to be? So if you look at the top ones, again, Abdul Carter won't have a chance at him. James Pierce Jr., big board rank 9. And I've seen him kind of between 10 and 15 after the quarterbacks go and all that stuff. Okay, Mike Green Marshall. He was mocked to the Chargers at one point. Now they're saying his big board rank is 11. So again, that's just raw ranking them. So there's going to be different needs picked up, quarterback. So he could slip down 15, 18, 20. And now you're talking, okay, pick 22, right? Mykel Williams, Georgia. Here's a guy that you could see. And then Shemar Stewart, big board rank 20th. And he's the one that you kind of have your eye on. We're going to look at him a little bit more here in just a second. So if you go over to this mock draft, and I like this tankathon one just because it's kind of easy to look at. I say that, and then there we go. So check it out. If you look, here they are, pick 22 Chargers, but look around. It's like James Pierce, Mike Green, 15, 16, Shemar Stewart, 19, Texas A&M guy, Jack Sawyer guy. So right in these, 20 or 10, 15 picks, there's 5 of them right here. Go down to the next edge. So in a year when it's like, we kind of need an edge, it'd be nice because we just don't know the future of, or we know the future of Bosa's gone. And then Khalil Mack, it's like, man, what do we do? It's like, man, this allows you now the flexibility to like, all right, maybe we just let Mack go. We've got some edge opportunities. We can draft well. We can use that free agent money on some different people. We can get some 1-year players on our interior offensive line, 1-year players, even wide receiver wise. That's like, okay, let's go get a, what's his name from Devontae Adams. I'm just making this up, right? But there's these veteran wide receivers. They're 32, 33. Again, you want to draft, you want to find some more juice than this, but my point is there's options now because the defensive end. Also, it drives the price of the Myles Garrett down a little bit. I still don't think you want any part of that. As great as he is, you're too early in your rebuild. You're doing it right. You're doing it for the long term. You want the sustainability, all those things. Giving picks for him just feels messy. It just feels like, nah, I don't want to do that. So everything's intact. It's just crazy, right? So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Here's Shemar Stewart. Let me just show you this guy real quick. He's 6'5", 281. So he's like a defensive end / D tackle type of player. They line him up everywhere. Just right around. He's right there causing havoc like all the time. And that's kind of what he is right there. It's like, okay. Well, that'll do. Whatever that is. Whatever I just saw there, I want to see more of that. Okay, so here's this one where he's on the bottom. He's right down here. Ooh, so he knifes in. They've got him at 6'6", 290. I've seen 6'5", 270. Here he is right here. Just like, okay. I don't know, right? Like that's the guy you could pick up there at pick 22. I just don't think you can go wrong offense or defensive line. Ever. All right, he's on the I think he's on the top of the screen right here, standing up. All right, do something, baby. Huh. All right, we could look at those all day. Shemar Stewart. There's defensive ends all day. All right, let me know your thoughts, and we'll see all of you on the next one.